What is up, everybody? How are we doing on this Thursday afternoon? Yes, a special Thursday afternoon edition of the area stat leaders, the top 10 passers, receivers, and rushers throughout North Central Ohio. I'm Travis Big League Berardi. The fastest 10 weeks coming to an end tomorrow night. Final week of the regular season. And then we start the fastest 6 weeks, the playoffs, the road to Canton Hall of Fame Stadium. But we still have some movement, some drama left here for our stat leaders. Passing game, maybe 2 players, but after that, a lot of players able to maybe get that number 3 spot. Our rushing matchup for week 10 for the championship, and then maybe, I don't know, I think our receiving's been locked up, but we'll have to find out here right now as we take a look at our week 9 passing, rushing, and receiving leaders, well, through week 9. So let's get right to it and take a look at the passing leaders. And we start down at the bottom, number 10, Anden Klaus. He, alongside number 9, will be playing each other here in week number 10 as they play for playoff positioning, maybe a home game for Mohawk, maybe a bye week for Mohawk, maybe a home game for Seneca East, but Mr. Klaus into the lineup, number 10, 1,449 passing yards on 77 completions, 16 touchdowns. Our number 9 passer into the lineup for, I believe, the first time this year. That's Mr. Nicholas Parks, 96 completions, 1,496 passing yards, and 15 touchdowns for him. As like I said, Seneca East, if they get a win in week 10, most likely could get a home game, so a lot to play for, and positioning as well, because these 2 players maybe playing for a top 10 spot. We don't know. Maybe somebody will slip in, maybe somebody won't, but playoff positioning, top 10 positioning on the line. And number 8, Braden Parsons of West Holmes. Can't win the OCC this year. However, they can get a playoff run maybe going if they can get a win in week 10. He has a 1,562 pass yard mark on 113 completions and 18 passing touchdowns. Our number 7 passer, Aiden Schmidt, and this is where we get a little interesting going. 1,603 pass yards on 92 completions, 18 touchdowns. And I say it's getting interesting because number 3 to number 7 separated by 75 yards. Yes, 75 yards separates 3rd to 7th. So a lot to play for these quarterbacks going into week number 10, other than playoff positioning and wins for your team. But personally, these guys have something to play for in that, a top 10 spot in the area passing leaders. Number 6, Chase Smith of River Valley, just 3 yards ahead of Schmidt at 1,606, 133 completions, 15 total touchdowns for him. And might I add, we are brought to you by Pinnacle Building Services. All year, thank you, Pinnacle Building Services, for sponsoring this Stat Leader segment. Our number 5 passer, Mr. Tanner Miley of the Northmore Golden Knights, 144 completions, 1,633 yards, 17 touchdowns. He needs his Golden Knights to win on senior night. I'll be there tomorrow night at the Castle. They need a win over Loudonville and a lot of help if they want to keep the playoff streak going. They lost a lot last year to graduation, as you know, but Tanner Miley's got his team at least playing for something in week number 10, and you gotta admit that's pretty cool for him. 1 spot ahead of him at 1,666 yards is Mr. Cale Lewis Hillsdale. They've already locked up a number 1 spot in the region, but they have not locked up the WCAL championship. That team, Norwayne, on the other side, as they go on the road to hopefully knock them off to win that elusive WCAL championship. As Cale Lewis, they went in last year unable to get the win at home to clinch it. Can they get revenge? Can they get the championship this year? We'll find out tomorrow night. Now to the number 3 spot. Like I said, Jax Lester only 75 yards ahead of number 7. So this is going to be something to watch for. Jax Lester, you'll see him on Devil Dog night tomorrow night. What can he do against the Danville defense? Can he continue to lock up that top 3 spot in the area in his senior season? 1,678 pass yards, 128 completions, 19 touchdowns. Nathan Bernhard has jumped up once again. He's into the number 2 spot this week. 1,801 pass yards, 116 completions, 19 touchdowns. 220 yards behind our leader. Once again, Braden DeVito, still awaiting his Mr. Football finalist mark. He will be a finalist for Mr. Football, and he has my vote. Just a dual threat quarterback. He almost got into the rushing leaders this week at number 10, but just behind it a little bit. We'll see what he can do in week number 10 to maybe clinch a double spot in our stat leaders. But he has 2,021 yards, 125 completions, 26 touchdowns for him. So there are your passing leaders through week 10. Might be locked up for DeVito. Maybe Bernhard has something to say, but 3 to 7. It's going to change a lot when I show you the final stat leaders come next week. So we had our passing leaders. Now let's see the guys that catch the ball for them and give them those marks. It is now time for the receiving leaders. And like I said, I think this one is locked up. 340-yard difference between number 1 and 2. But we'll start at the bottom. Mr. Jacob Chambers staying in the top 10 this week. 585 yards on 25 receptions and 8 touchdowns. Welcome into the top 10, Mr. Christian Neal of Bucyrus. 42 catches, 603 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He is in to the top 10. I think this is the first time we've ever seen. Maybe. I have to check that, but maybe the first time we have a Bucyrus Redmond in the receiving leaders for as long as I have done this. So welcome in, Mr. Neal. Only 6 yards behind Josh Heilman of the Upper Sandusky Rams. Had a touchdown catch against Crawford last week. He has 32 of those, 609 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He had 2 catches last week. Both went to the end zone, and both kept him into the top 10 at number 8. Our number 7 receiver, Brexton Freilich of Western Reserve. They're trying to get a home game locked up completely. 612 receiving yards, 33 catches, 7 touchdowns, and they need some help from St. Paul this week if they want to get the Firelands Conference Championship as well, as Monroeville still sits undefeated there. Our number 6 receiver, Levi Teal of Mohawk, 24 catches, 657 yards, 7 touchdowns for him as they pulled off the Philly special to get the touchdown against Cary and then the run to win it. But Mohawk, a win could give them a bye in week number 11 against Seneca East. And we'll see if Levi can go off and maybe lock up a top 4 spot, maybe a top 3 spot. We'll have to find out after tomorrow night. Our number 5 receiver, Logan Moss of Calvert. They have a little bit of hope for the playoffs. Got to win this week. But the Moss, he's doing his thing. 661 receiving yards, 38 catches, 9 touchdowns for the Seneca. Paxton Flores has dropped out of the top 3. He was 2nd last week. He's now down to 4th. 35 catches, 689 yards, and 5 scores, but he can still finish in the top 10. Willard, they have receivers. I think every year I've done this, maybe the first year they weren't, but every year since, Willard has had a receiving leader in the top 10. We'll see if that continues this year. He has one more week to try and get over 700 yards, maybe towards 800. Now to our number 3 spot. He's still number 3 this week. It is Parker Weithman. 35 catches, 706 yards, 8 touchdowns. Oh, and he's added a few punt return scores as well for the Colonel Crawford Eagles. They look to hopefully clinch a top 4 spot in D6 Region 23. Parker Weithman and the Eagles, them, Centerburg, Mount Gilead, all have a chance of getting byes into week number 12 in that tough region. Our number 2 receiver, bouncing up into the top 3, Connor Stockdale, jumping over Weithman, jumping over Flores this week. He leads Weithman by 2 yards, going into week number 10 against Loudonville. 708 yards, 53 catches, 10 touchdowns. But I can say it. This is your receiving champion for the 2nd consecutive season. Brady Bowman, over 1,000 yards receiving, 51 catches, 1,048 yards, 14 touchdowns for him as Brady Bowman just continues to light up the scoreboard alongside Mr. DeVito. We may have a Shelby champion in both the passing and the receiving marks. Just a huge output this year for Brady Bowman, and a huge output as we saw from Mr. DeVito heading to Air Force. And, well, they're flying already with the air attack as they get ready for their first round bye and number 1 seed already clinched there. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk to you about our sponsor, Pinnacle Building Services. Once again, if your business needs a cleaning, they're the ones to do the job. Here's a word from Pinnacle Building Services.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
So thank you once again, Pinnacle Building Services, for sponsoring the Stat Leaders. They will be the sponsor one more time next week as we crown our champions and unveil our final top 10 in each category. But we still have one more category left, and that is the rushing leaders. And this is the one where it gets very interesting because we don't know a clear-cut champion. And those two guys will meet against each other here tomorrow night. But before we get there, let's start with number 10. As always, Fredericktown's Blake Sipes, the quarterback. 927 rushing yards, 129 carries, and 5 touchdowns for him. Talked about West Holmes, the passing attack. Well, the rushing attack has constantly been in the top 10 as well. Brody Bowman from the Knights, 958 rushing yards, 159 carries, and 7 touchdowns. Landon Wiggle of Western Reserve should break the 1,000-yard mark. All these guys should break 1,000 yards this year. 149 carries, 23 scores. I mean, this guy, if you enter in a touchdown-only league, would get you all of the points this year. He'd probably be the leader. He's a leader in fantasy anyway with all the touchdowns that he has scored. Jumping all the way into the top 10, welcome Judah Keller of Margaretta. 101 carries, 976 yards, and 15 touchdowns for him. As Margaretta, they look to get a top 4 spot, maybe even a number 1 spot as they continue to roll this season. Judah Keller into the top 10. We see him on the basketball court alongside Mr. Julian Washington, but now he's up to number 7 trying to get into the top 5 as we finish off the season here on our rushing leaders. Now to our number 6 rusher from those Warriors. Look at that. That's the 2-point conversion to knock off Carey after the Philly special. Caden Bish, 103 carries, 1,040 yards, and 17 total touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion, as you saw right there. Sticking with the Northern 10 in our number 5 rushers, Connor McMichael, 131 carries, 1,095 yards, 16 touchdowns. He broke into the top 10 a couple weeks ago, and now he's looking to continue to move up the rankings as he sits at number 5 and just behind our number 4 rusher, which is Miles Marshall of the Centerburg Trojans. 1,218 rushing yards, 113 carries, and 19 scores for him. Our number 3 rusher continues to stay at number 3. Our top 3 has not moved in the last few weeks. Owen Sloan of the Hillsdale Falcons, just ahead of Miles Marshall, 1,223 rush yards, 133 carries, but 19 touchdowns for that all-impressive Hillsdale Falcons squad, who already has a Week 12 spot locked up at home. Now to where it's interesting. The two rivals will face each other tomorrow night at Cardington. Carson Barnum just behind, 49 yards behind our top spot, Wyatt Denny, 1,568 yards, 256 carries, 15 touchdowns. Right behind Mr. Wyatt Denny of the Pirates. 264 carries, 1,617 yards, and 15 touchdowns. 49 yards separate these two running backs for the rushing championship this season on the Stat Leaders. and they face each other tomorrow night at Cardington. Number 1 versus number 2 to determine who wins a rushing championship right here on the OH Report. I'll let you know during the pigskin. Hopefully be able to let you know during the pigskin if we have a winner there. But if not, I will see you next week as we finish things off, because we're at the finish line of the regular season already here on the OH Report for football. Week 10 coming up tomorrow, and then we're going to have a lot of coverage. I mean, so many teams have playoff spots clinched, so many teams with home games clinched, so we're going to be running around for the next few weeks and hopefully all the way to Canton once again for the state championships. But that has been your week number 9 update, our 6th update of the area stat leaders, the leading rushers, receivers, and passers here in North Central Ohio. I'm Travis Big League Berardi. I will see you tonight. Buckeye Central looking for a district championship in volleyball, and then I'll see you tomorrow at the Castle for Northmore Loudonville, and then we'll wrap things up with the Week 10 edition of the Pigskin tomorrow night around 11:45 or so. But for now, I'm going to get my volleyball going, and I will see you later.